Here's a case of my buddy can do it cheaper. I don't exactly know what they did, but they said he installed these nice little lights to make a front end pop. Looks cool, but he said ever since they did that, other lights are flickering. Some of his other safety components are shutting off. In my head, I automatically thought, you know, they went ahead and cut some wires or whatnot. So essentially, yes, they did. They cut the wires. Oh, yes, they did. Dang it. All right. So yeah, they cut some wires, which is right here. I'm not sure if this is a factory ground or the ground that came with the lights. So what I'm going to do is, okay, that's just for the, okay. All right, first things first, I'm going to get this air box out just so that I can get a better look at what they did down there. First things first, have the negative battery terminal unhooked, which is usually the safest practice to get used to doing. I'm just going to remove that. And this whole assembly down here, which is on the lower part of your screen, is just plastic push pins. There we go. 1, 2, and that's all they are. All the way over here, it's 13 millimeter. Everybody uses plastic, but not Ford, because it's built Ford tough, you know? So they use metal. And now, oh, more plastic push pins. Okay. Oh, 1. Oh, wow. There we go. 2. Now, hopefully, you can just pull this straight up and out. Okay, there's that. Now it really opens up the engine bay here. A couple extra minutes of work and you get all this extra room to play. Okay, let's get rid of the zip tie. And this one. Let's get rid of those. Let's open her up. It's the good old electrical tape. Not really sealing anything, just holding it there together. Because he said he disconnected it. And all of his lights and everything started working, so I just went to show him that this was the problem. Alright, so this is obviously the wiring leading to the component itself. Yep, okay, so there we go. So this is their wire. Put that down. Now this right here, wow, they branched it. Let me show you something. Oh, wow. They sure did. They did it right off the headlight housing. All right, so with a lot of these higher electronic vehicles, yeah, so this whole light box down here has a computer. We'll call it a computer, but it really needs the signal from all of these wires. So by cutting these, you're not really doing yourself any favors. So I'm gonna go ahead and okay. So okay, I see what they did. So they broke up these two wires, this blue wire and the black, to try to piece these together. I'm just gonna put these together, and then I'm gonna rerun the wire somewhere else, because we don't want to do this. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this all off, and I'll get back with you. And what sucks is they cut it so close to the connector. Like, look, ugh. Yeah, this sucks. We gotta be extra careful and try to get every bit of, hopefully you guys can see what I'm talking about. If you, don't ever splice a wire, but if you do splice a wire, don't splice it right next to, see, I'm not even gonna be able to save that. Yeah, never ever splice it in this close to a wiring harness. A lot of these, they have, a lot of them, what they have is like kind of like glue in there to make sure no water can penetrate it afterwards, which, yep, this one does. All right, I got it as far as I can get it, at least up there. I can cut it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just cut it. I'm gonna do the same for this side too. So I'll get back to you when I'm done. So I did what I could for it. I got it nice and soldered. I had to add an actual extension because it was just so far gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. And before we do anything else, any other wiring, let's plug it in, or attempt to plug it in. I guess I don't. There, Jesus. All right, so let's plug it in, and then I'm gonna test everything to make sure everything works before we go any further. Okay, test it, and it all tested out perfectly. So, man. Okay, so I'm probably going to take apart everything up here too, because I'm going to have to reroute this wire from here all the way. Got to run it. I'm going to go inside this battery, and I'm going to fuse tap it into here. Now there's some obstacles when we get to this point, but first off we have to take this off, which is just a bunch of push pins. Lifts right up. And I got to see how long this cable is now. I do got the other part of the cable, so unfortunately it's going to have a bunch of junctions, which really bad when you're trying to do anything electrical. Well, unfortunately, that's the cards we were dealt. I mean, it's cool. Do it yourself, but man, whoever said tap, don't ever tap into wires. So I'm gonna get all these off. I got the air box back in and all the stuff on the driver's side put back together. Now so I went out and bought some 18 gauge wire. I'm going to make the splice now. And I already have the other side set up, so I bought a whole like 40 feet of it. Apparently I didn't have any. I thought I did, but oh well, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to go red and black, but so I'm going to connect. This is to the light. This is my new wire. I'm gonna splice those there. And I already got the wire tap set up. So if you're in this fuse box, 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one up is for the headlights. So there's the wire tap. I made a really nice short on how these work, but really quick. So this one in the front position like this, that completes the circuit. So if I were to turn on the car right now, the headlights would still work even with this, because this is dead. Again, I made a short, so check it out on my channel. You can go over that in there. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and run that wire to here, crimp it, pinch it, and then we'll test it. All right, got that soldered. Now let's just heat shrink it. Perfect. All right, let that harden, which only takes like 10 seconds. All right, now we're down to it. I wired it all in together just to find out that the light bar that was purchased, or the grill light, was actually wired in backwards. So the red, in fact, is the, well, this is my red, so ignore this red, but the black on this wiring is actually the hot, and the red is ground. So I'm just gonna do what I can to start run it. Oh, real quick, so I do got the 10 and I put a 5 amp back here. These are micro 2 fuses for this Ford F-150. Very rare, really hard time finding these. I only found 1 5 amp left in my town out of 3 part stores. 4 part stores, sorry, Napa had them. The other ones didn't, but now I'm going for this little spot right here. There's no way for me to film it for you guys, so I'm just gonna have to get in there and take these along and just pick it up. Yeah, pick it up just like this. Place that there, placing that in the 10 amp spot. Just go like this. Okay, it's going to kind of pinch that wire for right now. Now I just need to build up the ground wire and then you know, clean up everything. Now, this should be hot, but it's not. I'm just gonna slide this little heat shrink tube on there. Yeah, like I said, this should be hot. It's so backwards. It sucks that I already wired this in the other way. All right, put that in there nice and far. Oh, that's too far. Okay, perfect, just like that. I'll take that and just crimp it. There we go. Give it a nice little smash. And just for craps and giggles, I'm gonna put this up here. Now while that hardens, I'm going to show you where I'm going to put this. There's a little screw right here. It's a grounding screw. I just took some cutters. I'm going to cut it so that it fits around the base of this, because this is where I want it. Yep, so here we go. Okay. There we go, that's in there nice and tight. That's what it'll look like in the end. Again, I'm gonna clean all this up, make it look as best as I can, not just, plus there's gonna be a plate up here to cover it, which, you know, I'll get that in a second. So let's take a look at it. that is what she'll look like now. And then we'll start it, and which I'm actually about to do that now. I'm gonna go ahead and start it and try to see if nothing else messes up. All right, that's all she wrote. Took it for a test drive, and no more of the safety features are coming up. So I talked to them, and I found out that the car would stay on after he shuts it off. The backup camera stopped working and all that. So now that that's all taken care of, so if you got these grills, I can't show you how to install it because I didn't, but at least I can show you how to wire it. Like, subscribe, and see you guys next time.